want, it's usually a mix of alcohol, drugs, or a bad combination of prescriptions that you shouldn't have.
What's up, y'all? It's Brian Keith, and I'm back with another video. And today we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I did not do last week's episode just because I felt like I wanted to tie both of them in, and due to time, me getting off work being tired, yeah, it had to get skipped on a Tuesday. But y'all, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Yeah, let me check my shit real quick. Hotter than the fire coming out my flaming lips. You wanna play with me? You can't play in me. On the playground, bitch, you can't play with me. Got it, wanted, secure.
So this whole episode, it basically gave me flashbacks to like Jen Shaw going crazy at the Ladies Who Lunch event in season 1. I'm just like,
check your source, I just want to talk yours.
is that Jen? But you know, Mary's hosting this luncheon. I think it's right after her, church event. Mary decided to reopen her church from last episode, and all the ladies go support. They're standing in solidarity with her. So shout out to that. And we already know all the stuff that's going on with Mary in the documentary that came out. The Real Housewives cult thing. There's rumors that have been swirling around for years now, so we'll see what comes of it. If y'all don't know, Jen Shaw is getting out early. Allegedly, it's on December 10th, so the week after next. But yeah, I guess congrats to her. Brittany, why do I feel like Brittany's coming for a snowflake? I feel like Brittany's coming for a snowflake. The girl has a storyline. Honestly, like as last episode, she's over here talking to Jared. I guess he got wind that she's over here flirting with some of the guys on the deck crew. But my whole thing is, y'all were supposed to be broken up.
Great, you run every 5 seconds. What I'm looking for is somebody that's stable.
Whoa.
Truth.
30 days. So I'm confused, and he's like, all you do is just run, you're unstable, like the relationship's unstable. But then she leaves and runs from the conversation yet again. So my whole thing is like I said, you promised your daughter you'll give her 30 days, give her 30 days. Like, what are we doing?
Dave, how's that fast going? 30 days for me.
Here, let me take this, please. Can I please take that?
You look so dumb right now.
So this episode, the ladies are there sitting down drinking 2003 Dom Perignon.
Guys have 2003 Dom Perignon?
No.
Ladies feel like Meredith cut the fuck up on that plane, and she should be held accountable. My whole thing is this. Portia Williams, I think she might have helped Meredith's case, because if Meredith cut up the way they said that Meredith cut up, I don't think it would have. I feel like something would have happened. Like there was no alerts, no nothing. Like for her to cut up the way y'all say she cut up, especially during Crazy Rich Asians. Like, girl, that is my movie. I love that movie. So good.
A group around me of, I feel like, real friendship. If you notice, the one's not here, which is Brittany.
But my whole thing is like, so Meredith cut up on the plane, everybody cool, nothing comes of it. Okay, so they go to this the luncheon. Mary's like, yeah, I'm happy that you guys are here. All you guys are here. I want y'all to be here. The only person that's not here is Brittany. And she was like, Brittany, I called her. I told her I felt offended by her saying that I'm the least Christian-like person here. Brittany apologized. She just felt like Mary was being mean.
You are the least Christ-like person I have ever met in my entire life. I meant that in the moment because I felt like you were super mean.
She was like, she's surprised that Brittany apologized. She was like, okay, cool, fine. She's like, I feel like we all should be held accountable and, be able to get to a better place. So I feel like Whitney and Heather are on this mission to, it doesn't matter who, but to take down, honestly, the other ladies. And I'm going to get to that part in a minute. But Meredith is saying that I was asleep for portions of the plane ride. So y'all are saying that I was screaming and hollering for 5 hours is not true.
Tell me what happened that warranted our trip ending with one of our friends, never wanting to be in the same room as you or you again.
Mary's telling her, I'm a friend to you, but you were kind of out of control. Angie said the same thing. And Heather, the way Heather is saying it is very pointed. She was like, you don't think that what you did was wrong? You don't think that what you did was just so lowbrow? And Lisa's interjecting like, hey, you know, at the end of the day, like, we have to look at her side as well. Like, she was hurt, she reacted. Do I agree with everything? No.
I think Meredith has a right to like lose her sometimes. I think not. No, you know what? Sometimes with friends, and you can't hold your emotions. So it's unforgivable.
But and then Heather's just like, Lisa, it's horrible that Brittany feels that Meredith, as well as you, Lisa, are complicit in what happened. And Lisa's, well, I don't know why I'm complicit in it. I ain't do shit.
Never wanting to be in the same room as you or you again. She holds both of you equally accountable. Well, that's weird.
I'm like, Lisa, girl, I can see.
Just like,
I can see. Meredith is still standing firm on, like, it's not what y'all are saying. Y'all are exacerbating this whole situation. I was watching the movie, I did this, I did that. They're like, what movie? And it's just like, at some point, like, why are we getting down to nuance? Because it's like y'all trying to catch her in a lie. So Meredith says, you know, at the end of the day, there's people in this group that have talked about me behind my back, and they accuse and allege things that weren't true. And they were like, well, who said anything? Who said it? And the Brahma was like, well, you know, I'll speak up for that. Because Whitney was just like, well, who ran it back to you?
I'll tell you. If Meredith doesn't want to, I will. Told to me that they saw you drinking in the club before you got on the plane.
Conversation, I told Meredith that, you know, I don't know if, you know, what they're saying is true, because it seems highly unlikely. However, you know, I want to get your POV of it. And then after she says, you know, I got your POV, I got all these things, you know, it's hard for me to say that you didn't do it after hearing everybody's side. Meredith is still holding firm, and Mary's telling her, like, look, I'm a friend to you, but I do think that you were out of control. Like, did you forget? Did you black out? Meredith was like, I did not black out. I did not forget. Like, I would not do something like that.
That you did not stop. You didn't. Well, and I don't know that you don't remember. The fact that you don't remember concerns me.
So Heather then says, at the end of the day, we're sitting here, and we had to take Brittany through customs. We had to do all these things. She says, Lisa, like, why didn't you come with us through customs? Why didn't you get up and, you know, stand firm with Brittany? And Lisa's
like, girl, I had global entry. Didn't know I had global entry, girl. Who knows? Didn't know, girl. But, you know, I had to go have my pods in. I had to do my thing. I was minding my business. Girl.
She lives a totally different life than you guys. But Heather basically tells Meredith, like, you were the aggressor in this situation, so even though we felt bad for what Brittany did, I didn't see y'all feeling bad for what Brittany did, honestly. But she was like, you tipped the scale in your direction of fault, so you don't get to hang your hat on the victim. You don't get to talk.
Me to say you lost your privilege to hang your hat on the victim, you did. Because whatever happened on the plane tipped the scales. And
so Meredith was just in there like, Meredith, what do you think? She's like, I don't get to talk, remember? I don't get to talk. I don't get to talk, right? If I had to, this is what I think happened. I think a low volume conversation was had, and I think that I think Meredith did chastise Brittany and was tearing her up, but do I think it was cause a scene?
No.
We all know policies when it comes to flying. Now, if they flew private, okay, maybe so. But flying commercial, I don't think that it got up to that level for it to be a disturbance for passengers, all the passengers on board. And also, I feel like in Brittany's head, she didn't want to escalate things because she didn't want to get Meredith in serious trouble. However, Brittany, like I said before, I don't feel bad for you in the sense because you can play the victim with the other girls. The accountability is still going to fall. The accountability that should be given should fall on you. And at the end of the episode, they do that. So I'm cool with it. But Brittany, you purposely did what you did to try to dig at Meredith and then now want to play victim. It doesn't work that way. You do something to me, you don't dictate how I can react back to you. Now, do I think Meredith probably went a step above? Yes. But it is what it is. We see Heather moving out this same hissy mattress. 20-year mattress, girl. Whoa. With Whitney. And they're talking, and they talk about the situation that had happened and all these different things. The important part about this conversation was Whitney's now feeling some type of way about Bronwyn. She's like, she's a sneaky snake for going back and telling, bitch, how dare you? You and Ashley Darby are cut from the same fucking cloth, because how dare you say somebody feels some type of way running back saying anything when that is literally the blueprint of Whitney Rose.
I would have never, ever told Bronwyn what I experienced on the plane had I known that little coward would run straight to her like a venomous, hungry snake.
That's all you do is run back and tell things, and you exacerbate, and you lie. And even during that luncheon, you try to say that, oh, well, I don't know if it was a mixture of pills, alcohol. I don't know if it's just you're a horrible person, you have a hatred in your heart. But those are accusations, damaging accusations to someone's reputation.
Have hatred in your heart. You have an anger problem. Have a problem mixing substances.
I think there comes a point in time when you want to talk about people and you want to poke and poke and poke and poke and poke. You might poke the wrong person on the right motherfucking day. Because my mouth is slick and I would hate to say some shit out of line, but you're not about to over here accuse me of basically being an alcoholic and doing drugs because of your triggers.
Blacks out, from my experience, it's usually a mix of alcohol, drugs, or a bad combination of prescriptions.
Whitney Rose and Ashley Darby are literally cut from the same cloth, because they will pull it out of you. They will pull that ratchet, trashy moment out of you, because it's just like, girl, I don't want to go there with you. I don't. But you talk about, you're a fucking pill popping alcoholic. And I'll be like, no, but you're...
My whole thing with Whitney is just like, girl, you are a proven liar. You come out with these situations and these stories and these fables and nothing comes of it. I'm still waiting for you to show us the proof that Lisa was over here with the Alibaba thing. Still has yet to do it. So whatever. Meredith and Lisa, they go to get their nails done, go to the spa, get their feet done, cool. So they're talking about everything that had happened. They're just like, yeah, it's crazy how they're trying to basically paint me out to be a fucking pill popping drunk. And Lisa's just like, yeah, I understand that situation. I support you no matter what. But it's crazy how they're trying to paint this out. It's spin this, like, And then Lisa's just like, I had a conversation with Brittany, and I think it went so well. We see the conversation, and Lisa's just like, look, Brittany says, do you feel any type of accountability for the part you played? And Lisa's like, absolutely not.
Feel like you contributed. I don't. I feel like you were absolutely as complicit as the person accosting me.
She's like, I absolutely don't. She's like, I was trying to help you. If you didn't see that I was trying to help you in that way, look, I apologize if that's the perception that you got, but I was trying to help you. Do I think that was an apology? No, but girl, Brittany, you're gonna get what you gotta get. So Meredith was just like, at the end of the day, like, she came for me, and I do feel bad for her. I feel bad that she can't keep a motherfucking man. Huh? I feel bad that she's over here, her life's in shambles. What's going on? Her business is in disarray. I feel bad for her. I'm just like, Meredith. Girl. And then Lisa's just like, I told her, like, maybe y'all should sit down and talk. Like, it's above me. And Meredith was like, okay, cool. We do see Bronwyn and her daughter and her mother go to, plant bonsai trees. So the daughter's planning on moving to, allegedly, I guess, to Portland. And the mom's like, what you gonna do in Portland?
I don't know, I just think it's a cool place. Like, you told me you didn't want to go to BYU and you wish you could have gone to New York.
And the mama, Muzzy, she's planning on moving out too, because she wants her own space. And they're like, if it's Todd, I'll get rid of Todd. That's easy. I'm like, girl, something in the bottom can't clean. But here's the thing. Bronwyn has literally went from her mama house to being in a house with her child. She said she only had a short period of time in college and she got pregnant. I feel for Bronwyn because I feel like she's codependent on her mama and her daughter. And she doesn't understand why her daughter isn't as codependent on her.
To a very short stint at college and then Gwen. I think it's long past time that I was an adult by myself. But Gwen's just more excited about spreading her wings.
And I feel bad for her because, like I tell a lot of people, you're a parent but you still have a life of your own. Because when your kids get grown, what are you going to do? Live out your life through your kids when they're grown? Like, no. So that's why I always tell people, like, it's good to have a balance from your personal life and your kids. Like my mom, I feel like my mom was a prime example of having that balance. Like, if she wanted to do something, I'm going to stay with my grandma for the weekend. I'm going to do this for the weekend. I'm going to, like have someone that you could, get yourself in order. But I feel bad for her to start crying and the daughter just playing her bottom of the tree like, girl, you crying? Okay, girl. Like, she was not phased by any means. She's ready to get out the house. And then, we transfer over to Brittany, basically at therapy, taking accountability with her daughter. And it struck a chord for me because the daughter was just like, yeah, you got remarried and you treated your stepchildren better than you treated us.
We weren't her priority. She honestly became more of a mom to my new step siblings than to me and my sister.
And I felt that a little bit with my dad as well, because when my dad divorced my mom, I think officially when I was 10, they broke up when I was 6. So it took a long time for them to get actually divorced. But during that time, my dad did move in with, his now ex-wife, so his wife at the time, and she had a daughter who's still my sister to this day. Cool, love her. But they did have a child between that time, and they got married, all those things. It was tough for me to, like, it's me and my older sister, right? It was tough for me to hear another child outside of my older sister calling my dad, and it was something that my dad was just like he asked us, like, we're a little kid, like, oh, are you okay with my stepsister calling me dad? As a kid, I didn't really understand the nuances of it, so I'm just like, oh yeah, that's fine, I guess. But as a grown-ass adult, I don't like that by any means. I don't. I get blended families, but for me, looking back on it, I did not like it. I felt like a lot of stuff was forced upon me, and to make my dad happy, we said yes. And understanding that as a kid, I didn't like that. And I love doing these videos because I can always go back and, first of all, use this for therapy.
So I do want to clarify and basically say, when it comes to my younger sister and my younger brother, I don't consider them step. I don't consider them like half. I just say that just to explain to people, but that's my brother, that's my sister. It is what it is. But for me as a kid, when it comes to my little brother, he has no involvement because he was basically after the fact. So for the uncomfortability that I felt like I was losing my dad to another party, which was my dad's second wife and my sister, my younger sister. So that's how I felt. At the time, I just went with the flow because I'm a kid. I really didn't have any say so, and I wasn't staying with my dad full time. I was staying with him during the summertime. So it was just one of those things. But yeah, like growing up, like deep diving this in therapy, I realized that was a trigger for me.
It was hard. So I can only imagine when your mom's treating your step siblings better than you, and that's your mother. Like, I've said enough about Brittany. I'm not about to hit her when she's down because she's already taken accountability, and that's the first step. So shout out to Brittany. But it's from what it sounded like, you were a trash ass mom. And that's really crazy for me to say because I'm not big on trashing people's parenting. I'm not a parent, so who the fuck am I? I can only imagine my experience to the daughter's experience, and that's what it sounds like. Unfortunately, I've had reconciliations with my dad that went well for like 2 years, and then just for a flip the switch and go crazy on me. But as a grown adult that has went through, their own experiences, I refuse to be subjected to trauma in my adulthood. I'm happy that they actually came to a accord, and I felt bad for Brittany when she says, I still hold myself accountable, and I still feel responsible. And she says she's sorry. She was like, I'm not over it. I still haven't forgave myself. So, I mean, shout out to Brittany for being open, and it seemed like this is like actually moved in the right direction. Cause I think her daughter was at BravoCon with Jared. So that man situation, girl, she probably ain't got that figured out. But at least the kid thing, That's the most important thing. You got that figured out. At the end of the episode, we do see Meredith and Brittany meet up, and more of the story, they apologize both ways, and Meredith was just like, you know what, I apologize if you felt like I was really disrespectful, but I was triggered by the things that you did. Brittany was like, you know what, I understand that the TikTok thing was a bit much. I don't know your marriage, I don't know the ins and outs, so I just went off.
To be clear, the real trigger was that you came in under the premise that you were trying to help me when you were trying to hurt me. Yeah, you're right.
Brittany said, like, you know I triggered you with this situation. She was like, the trigger wasn't that. The trigger was that you came to me like you were trying to be a friend. And Brittany was like, absolutely, like, I understand that, like, you know, I packaged it as if I was trying to help you when I knew I was trying to hurt you. And Meredith was just like, you know what, I accept the apology. Like, I wasn't expecting that, but I accept it, and you know, let's just move forward and just see where this takes us in this newfound civility.
That actually means a lot. I didn't expect that. Yeah, you're welcome.
As they would say. But y'all, that was Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This season is good. It's eating. Next episode, Whitney, you're doing a little bit of a lot, and I don't want someone to hit you where it hurts, because Whitney, you like to throw out these daggers and these little things about, oh, well, you're a pill popper, you're an alcoholic, you're doing all those things, and pointing, poking. And you said something in this episode that Meredith reminds you of your father. And if Meredith says something that she does that I know will cut you deep, then you want to be the victim, because we all know, even as viewers, what to say to probably cut you deep, right? But we won't go there.
Alcoholic? Pill popper?
No, but your daddy is, bitch.
Now, if Meredith would have said some shit like that, Whitney be on another journey over here. Oh, I'm finding myself. Like, girl, please. Like, Whitney, find something safe to do and move around. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Brian Keith, LG, Black Butte. Bet you didn't know we the Holy Trinity. Now let a God stop a jolly, break your ear here. Step into the room and get up in the bed. It tastes sweet, that's cause I'm good. It tastes sour cause I'm better than the hood. Cause I get you hyper when I'm running all around, cause I excite ya. Let me talk real quick.